So, you have to understand everyone has freedom. Everyone has free will to do whatever they want to do. However, I want you and others to consider the possibility of even becoming your best friend when it comes to your emotions and pain and unresolved issues. Treat yourself like you would treat your best friend that didn't have a relationship work out, and you spend time with them and you help them get through it. And so you have to spend time with self and know why you're moving in the direction you're moving. This is so key. So key. And let me give clarity. I'm not talking about a person, a guy or a girl jumping from person to person in the pursuit of getting to know people. I'm talking about sexual contact. And when you have sexual contact, at times you can lose yourself. You can be jumping from person to person to person to the point that you can't look at yourself in the mirror and identify who is looking back at you. That's when I say it's not the disposition of trying to preserve yourself. You're saving face for the moment. You're giving off an impression for the moment. And so, guys and girls, you have to understand why you're doing what you're doing and for who you're doing it. Because at the end of the day, if you're a man, the crowd of friends that you have will not be there when you go home at the end of the day. The crowd of female friends that you hanging out with, bussing with, talking about people that you're interested with, they're not around when you lay your head down at night. It's just you. And so you want to remain true to self. And part of remaining true to self is keeping the number one rule of self-preservation in mind, even when it comes to your sexual activity. Now, this whole movement of keeping it real, I'm just human, has to be scaled back. Because you have to understand your feelings and your emotions. And regardless how you configure in your mind that you won't get emotionally attached to the behaviors that you're doing with one specific person or several specific persons. It's not real. The people that don't want to catch emotions catch emotions. The people that say they're so far away and cold from the idea of caring for somebody is sometimes the most vulnerable people. And so You have to understand yourself, number one. Number two, I am a firm believer in if you're in the dating mode and you're not, let me give that clarity, and you're not in a committed relationship. In today's world, we have to talk about that because people like to believe, okay, well, I'm in a relationship, but I'm dating multiple people. No, you're either in a relationship or you're dating multiple people. The saying, you want your cake and eat it too. Who doesn't want their cake and eat it too? So you have to understand that dating multiple people requires a lot of energy and a lot of devotion if you're dating multiple people. And it's an act that can't be juggled as easily as people make it seem. Even the most structured and well-rounded person when it comes to dating will testify it takes a level of work. And so I'm a firm believer, and sometimes you don't know before you get in a relationship what exactly you really want. And so dating multiple people is normal, I believe, and it's safe. It allows your emotions to be guarded because you're not totally invested in anyone. Do you like one more than the other? It's chances. Do you like 2 out of the 5? It's chances. Or it could be all 5 that you like for different reasons. But why do you want to get in a relationship, and who would you want to get in a relationship with? Dating multiple people allows you to answer all those questions. And I say dating multiple people without being in the mode of having multiple partners at the same time. Because there's so much that comes with that. So much. So if you're dating multiple people, you're not sleeping with multiple people. Just to be on the safe side. Just think about that. When you're dating and having sex with multiple people all at the same time, you confuse things and you can't keep up. And sometimes the things that are nice gestures turn into intimate involvement. So a good morning text, a good night text, a seeing them on a regular basis, talking to them on a regular basis could be very confusing. And sex is the thing that would complicate it a lot more than anything else. And so you want to, be mindful of other people's emotions and be mindful of yourself, which goes back to self-preservation. This saving face idea of being labeled cool or the fly person because you're doing what other people did, is something you really want to be mindful of. You don't want to lose yourself in the pursuit of, if you're a female, well, guys do it, so I could do it. But you got to sleep with you at the end of the night. You have to look at yourself in the mirror after you done made those decisions with the people that you deal with. And so you want to be mindful. You want to be very mindful of why you do what you do and for what purposes. Me, I believe that a woman can't have multiple sex partners at the same time and do what a man is doing. It's a part of her just because of the way a woman is wired. She's woman, W-O-M-B, womb. She houses things. And so you're sleeping around with 2 people at the same time, 3 people at the same time, 4 people. We're not even getting to the different labels that society coins you when you're into the activity. I'm talking about the psychological part of you, the emotional sanity that you house within you, or you lose from having so many different people intimately involved in you and with you. And so I want you to critically think about that, because we live in a day and world where social connections, the healthy way of going about them, is becoming extinct because people are trying to save face. People stop dating one person and post pictures of another person, and then after that don't work out, then post another picture, or they in the limelight and they're dating this person and that person and this person. It's okay to be by yourself. Let me say that. It's okay to be by yourself. It's okay to take a break away from everyone and just really focus on you. And sometimes it's not a matter of getting your stuff right. It's just a matter of giving yourself a breather. Whatever was involved in that previous relationship, how much energy, devotion, time, talk, has to be unraveled. And so taking time off is a part of self-preservation. Excuse me for stuttering. So I want you to think about these things. Beyond the labels of people dethroning you as a woman and calling you things that are of lesser value, or men walking around in sheer bitterness because one woman hurt them, so everybody else is going to pay. So jumping from woman to woman to woman to woman to get exactly what you need physically, and then skipping town. You have to be from a male and a female's perspective. And I'll probably piggyback on that part too. I want you to think about this before I end. From a male and female's perspective, at some point along the way, you're going to want a relationship, and you're going to want a quality person, a good person. But you also got to be a person of quality and a good person. You're never going to find someone perfect. And that person in return is not going to have you, who is a perfect person. However, you have to be what you want. And what I mean by that is, if you want a man of substance that is a good person when it comes to different principles and morals and values, you have to in return be that person. Why wouldn't that person want what they are? And so you have to make sure you're reflecting exactly